Hey guys, it's Olivia and welcome back to Live in Literature. Thank you so much for all the love and support I received to my last video, and if you have not seen it yet, feel free to head on over to my channel to check it out. Well guys, we are back. We are back to Live in Literature. Thank you so much. I know that I missed a week. I know that I was gone. I was traveling abroad in Switzerland with my family. Insert photos here. The trip was absolutely amazing, quite literally the most beautiful place I've ever been in my entire life. But now I am back, I am home, back in the United States, ready to deliver some absolutely fabulous books, all right? So I am so excited for today's video. And obviously, as you've seen from the title, today we are getting a little spicy, a little crazy, a little bit silly goofy, okay? Listen, let's not take it too seriously, guys. But sometimes in the book world, okay? Backstory. Sometimes in the book world, you know, I would consider myself a connoisseur of literature, okay? I consume vast amounts of literature. Some of the most beautiful literature that's ever been written on this planet Earth. And I also say some of the spiciest literature that has also been delivered on this planet Earth, okay? And sometimes when I am in the mood, I just want to read a book where our female character gets absolutely cracked down by her mans, okay?
Get him, get him!
Sometimes that's exactly what I want to read. I want to read the spice and the smut and all the good stuff and have myself a good little romance time. Now, I will say that every book that I'm going to be delivering for you guys today does contain like an actual genuine plot. It's not all just getting cracked down. Okay, like it does contain plot, there are things going on, but a majority of these books contain vast amounts of spice, of smut, okay? So if you are not a fan of that, this is not the video for you. So please go watch any of my other videos on the channel or wait for next week's video. But today, okay, like let's not take it too seriously. Sometimes we just want to read something that's just like a good romance, spicy time. And these books have some of the most elite, best spice that I have ever read. And these are hot, like hotter than hot.
Give me that napkin, quick!
What on earth for?
I swear I'm sweating like a sinner in church.
Okay, at the beginning of this year, I gave a video on like the smuttiest books that I had ever read. These books are like even above those ones, okay? Like these are spicy. There's some stuff that goes down and our FMC gets absolutely cracked down with that spice. Please, please, please. And I live for it and I love it. Now, a full disclosure, this idea came from the fabulous Laura Elite Reading on TikTok. Laura, I love you. She's a cute TikToker that I follow on the app. And she wrote these videos, or she came up with the idea of like romance books where she gets absolutely cracked down. And I thought the concept was hilarious, first of all, just calling it that. But then also I was like, that's actually that's a brilliant idea. Like, I don't know if I've ever given like my true thoughts on like the absolute spiciest things I've ever read. And these, I would say, are all a part of that list. Like, these are all the spiciest things that I've ever read so far this year, at least, too. And they're all amazing. So thank you to Laura. Go give her a follow. Go give her a watch. She's absolutely fabulous. I'll put her link in the description so you guys can go check her out. But before we get into the cracking, okay, the crackening, if you will, of all these spicy books, we need to talk about what I just finished reading, okay? So, what I just finished reading versus what I am currently reading. Guys, I finished the Hermione fanfiction, Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. I finished Rose in Chains, which, as we know, if you are a fan of Hermione fanfiction, is based off of the famous fanfiction called The Auction, okay? Now, Rose in Chains is essentially set in a magical world. There's a magical war between two sides. There are two different types of magic. There's mind magic and heart magic. And the two warring sides of these people are fighting against them. Essentially, the heart magicians are essentially like taking over the country that essentially performs majority mind magic. And essentially what ends up happening in this story is there's a young princess named Bryony. She is the princess of the people who perform mind magic. Her kingdom gets taken over. Her brother is killed in battle, even though he was prophesied to be the man that like would stop the war and was prophesied to like essentially like end all wars forever. He dies, and she and all of the other women and men of her people essentially get auctioned off to the heart magicians of the like quote unquote the evil side. and essentially like they get auctioned off as like essentially like human slaves, which is absolutely sick and disgusting. The concept makes me want to vomit violently.
Step back, I think I'm gonna vomit!
And essentially are used in any way, shape, and form. And Bryony gets chosen by a rival member from one of the rival side who she went to school with for years and is known for years. His name is Tovin Hurst. Tovin, but I say Tovin. Tovin Hurst. Tovin buys her at the auction, and essentially she and Tovin are working together, essentially is secretly to defeat the evil side that has taken over and essentially like defy them as best as they can. So yeah, like Tovin and Bryony, the chemistry is there. It's electric. It's evil. It's dark. It's cryptic. This book does leave off on a cliffhanger. Like you will not be able to finish the entire like book series, like the whole story of the auction. It's not completed all in one book. This book ends at like part 1. So like I know this is going to be a multiple book series, maybe 2 or 3. I'm not really sure how many. But regardless, this book was absolutely fabulous. It is dark though, okay? Like this is dark romance. And it is also dark in every concept. Like the concepts of this book are very dark and very scary and very much like concepts that we like a lot of like read the trigger warnings for this book. This book has a lot of trigger warnings, and I honestly was like reading a lot of it, I was like pretty sick to my stomach. Like this, even reading the auction when I read it a year ago, I was like sick to my stomach reading the auction, but I like wanted to read it because I was like, this Hermione fanfiction so famous, and so I read it. And I was pretty sick to my stomach, and reading this, it like gave me the exact same feeling. Like I am sick to my stomach with how dark this is, but I needed to keep going so I can know what happens. And like I just had to know what happened. And I'm so glad that I read this because I thought it was fabulous. I think the writing is really good. I think the storyline that they created is brilliant. I think that the way that they were able to take like the canon of Harry Potter and make it into something different has worked out really, really well for them. It's almost a little too close in my opinion. Like I feel like it's almost slightly like too close to Harry Potter in some aspects. But also again, like I get it. Like she wrote the book in canon, in a Hermione fanfiction canon set Harry Potter world, and she transferred it over to something that could be published. And so like when I'm reading it, I feel like I'm reading like Harry Potter. Like genuinely, I feel like I'm reading Harry Potter.
Hey, she's only interested in you because she thinks you're the chosen one.
But I am the chosen one. Okay, sorry.
But I'm also trying to be like, okay, this is a separate thing. It's different, but also it doesn't really feel that different. Regardless, I absolutely loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I knocked off 1 point for like the similarity to the Harry Potter aspect, and then also for the fact that like I felt like the pacing was like slightly weird sometimes, but for the most part, like 4.5 stars is still a super high rating. And I absolutely lived for this book. Like it is just like the fan fiction. It's dark, it's messy, it's depraved, it's horrible to read, and yet I could not put it down. So absolutely in love with Rose in Chains. It was great, but it is unruly in how dark it is. So please be warned. You have been warned by me. This is a dark, dark romance, but I do recommend it because it is also very good. And for what I'm currently reading, guys, I haven't really selected what I'm currently reading right now. I just got back from my trip, and so I'm a little bit disoriented. I need to get back to it. I haven't selected it just yet, but I will let you know once I select my next book, my next conquest, if you will. Okay, so getting into today's video, like I said, we are doing the Krakening. We are doing the spice that cannot be stopped. We are doing smut level midnight, okay? Like,
Clean up on aisle 5.
we are doing it as spicy as it gets, at least for me, okay? I know that other people have different, like, barriers when it comes to spice. I would say that I enjoy a touch of dark romance, but like I'm not like super dark romance, like the very dark stuff like that, like kind of scares me a little bit. But I do like to get pretty spicy up in here. And all the books I'm going to recommend for you today are fabulous romances, some fantasy, some contemporary. It's a little bit of a mix of both. So let's get started. The first one I want to start with, where our FMC gets absolutely cracked down, is by Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. Phantasma, one of, if not the best romantasy I read last year. Literally my favorite romantasy that I read last year. This book absolutely rocks. This book Fs. This book ooh, gives it to you good, okay?
Veiny forearms. You're a whore. I want to see that. Yeah. Put that on the, yeah.
We have our main female character, Ophelia, who enters a Hunger Games Haunted Mansion style tournament to essentially rescue her sister. And when she enters this scary house called this competition called Phantasma, she essentially meets a phantom in there named Blackwell. And Blackwell essentially strikes a deal with her, and he says, like, if you will free me from this house, I will help you in every single one of these challenges that you have to get through to save your sister. And Blackwell, guys, Blackwell?
Oh, yeah.
He's a phantom, okay? So, like, a phantom is different than a ghost. A ghost is non-corporeal, which means that you can, like, put your hands through them and you can, like, see through them. Whereas a phantom is corporeal. You can touch, you can feel. They are a real thing. Like, you can touch them and they can move in and out of things. They can, like, as I've talked previously on this channel a lot about Blackwell, who is one of my favorite mailman characters, like, of all time. He can do all sorts of things because he's a phantom, okay? Like, he can move you around, he can move himself around, he can be non-corporeal but also corporeal. Like, this man gives it to her good, and he is so powerful and so sexy, and Ophelia and Blackwell, like, really have a good time in this book, but also the plot of this book is absolutely fabulous. Like, the storyline of this book is so fun and so brilliant, and I'm obsessed with the world that Kaylee Smith has created. Like, it's truly some of the best writing. Like, I absolutely love this book. It is a 10 out of 10, 5 stars for me. Everyone needs to go read Phantasma. The next one I want to recommend for you guys is a little trip down cowboy country. Yeehaw. We are talking about Paisley Hope's Training the Heart, okay? Paisley Hope has a Silver Pines series. There's 3 books in the series currently. I think there's going to be 5 ending in this series. But this is the Silver Pines series. And Training the Heart is about these... Okay, so we meet this family when we read the first one. The first book is called Holding the Reins. And we meet this family called the Ashby family. And they're like, there's a sister and like 2 brothers. And they're friends, and like, so essentially, like, we have this community of people living, they're like a pretty big name in Kentucky, like, they're a pretty big family, they own the Silver Pines Ranch, it's a big deal, and this one is about the eldest brother named Wade, and Wade is just like grumpy cowboy vibes, okay? He's got a lot on his plate running Silver Pines Ranch, and he needs help, and essentially they hire a, like, horse trainer named Ivy. And Ivy has a pretty, like, rough past, like, some terrible things have happened to her. She comes to Silver Pines to essentially escape all of that. And she and Wade, like, essentially kind of get into it, like, on accident. And they end up falling for each other. Now, when I say that Wade Ashby is a little bit of how I would describe a sex god, okay? Wade Ashby is a sex god.
Would make me a
god.
a god. A god!
Okay? The man cannot be stopped. The man does things that I've only ever dreamt of in my wildest fantasies.
Even if it's just in your wildest dreams.
This man does it all. And Ivy gets absolutely cracked down in this book several times, multiple times. A disgusting amount of times, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I live for every single moment of this book. Training the Heart was so good, and not only was it one of the spiciest cowboy romances that I've ever read, but it also has it has beautiful heart to it, and the romance is beautiful, and the intimate relationship that Wade and Ivy create for each other is beautiful, and it's very sweet and very wholesome, and then it's not so wholesome anymore, and it is spicy, and it is so fun. So if you want to get absolutely cracked down by a big burly 6'4" cowboy with dark hair and has tattoos all over his arms and has tattoos on his hands,
I need dick badly, the most ever. No one's ever needed dick more than me in this moment.
like, I highly recommend Training the Heart. This book will get your heart pumping, and it is really, really good. So please give this one a go. The next one I want to recommend is a book that I just recently finished reading, okay? We just finished reading this one. It is Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. Now, I gave my review of this book. I think I gave it 3 stars, maybe 3.5. Like, not like the highest rating, but I will say this is a book where our FMC and her main character, Mans, have a good time together, okay? So Terror at the Gates is essentially an urban fantasy that takes place in this, like, essentially like mafia-esque magic system world where like the women are the matriarchs of these like powerful families, but like they contain the magic, but essentially all of the leaders are men who are taking these women's powers. So essentially our main female character, Lilith Leviathan, does not want any part of this, okay? She does not want to be stuck in an arranged marriage. She wants to live her own life. And so she essentially escapes to the seedier side of the city run by a different crime lord who she's actually like good friends with. His name is Zahariv Zareth. The Zareth family. And he essentially allows her and her boarders to like keep an eye on her, but like they're friends. Okay, they've always been friends. He's always a little bit older than her, but he's always kept a good eye on her. And as things as the plot unfolds, we find out that like there is some underground trading with some magical artifacts. They release one that essentially is cursed, and Lilith and Zahariv have to work together to find out how to stop this cursed object from essentially destroying the whole city. And Zahariv and Lilith definitely get into it. Now, it takes a while, okay? It takes a while for the cracking to get down, okay? It takes a minute for it to happen. But when it does, it is delicious. And it is messy and it is gorgeous, okay? It really happens. And Zahariv is a professional, okay?
You fellas have nothing to worry about. I'm a professional.
The man gives it good and he knows what he's doing, okay? So, you have no need to fear. It does happen eventually, but you have to get through most of this book for it to happen. But when it does, it is chef's kiss. So, that is Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. The next one I want to recommend is another contemporary fiction for you. This one is the controversial, the one that came out this year that everyone was like, gasp, this woman has written a book with like some pretty sexual undertones. Guys, obviously, it's Miss Allie Hazelwood's Deep End, okay? Allie Hazelwood's Deep End, guys. We have our main female character, Scarlett, who essentially is a pro diver at Stanford. She's on the diving team. She is I think she's an Olympic medalist in dive. And at the school, she meets Lucas Blomqvist, who is a Swedish swimmer. And he's also an Olympian, a gold medal Olympian, okay? And Lucas and Scarlett run in the same circles because the divers and the swim boys like all run in the same circles. But Lucas is dating one of Scarlett's friends. Well, they end up breaking up. And they come to find out that Scarlett and Lucas share similar things when it comes to their sexual preferences, if you want to know what they mean. They share similar preferences in some of the like sexual things that are a little bit more taboo. They're a little bit more like rough and ready. They're a little bit more like kinky for sure. And so we find out Lucas and Scarlett essentially end up striking a deal that will be like a mutually satisfying fling for them to like entertain each other's fantasies. But as the competition, as like things keep going throughout their relationship, they end up getting closer, but then like secrets get out and like people's feelings get hurt and it's messy and it's fun and it's like a college crazy romance. So essentially like I lived for this book. I thought it was really interesting and really fun. I think I gave it 4 stars when I rated it. Again, the writing, Allie Hazelwood's writing is always going to be like top tier, like amazing dialogue, always the quippiest of quips, the wittiest characters, the most like absolutely like stellar individuals and like creating like a really good character. But like this one is definitely controversial because of the sex that goes on in this book. Like it's pretty sexy and it's pretty like intense, rough sexy. And listen, if you're here for a good time and not a long time, I highly recommend this one. It is dirty and it is fun, okay? I live for this one.
I'm not one to stand in the way of taking chances, making mistakes, getting messy.
I had a good time. I don't think it's Allie Hazelwood's best. I definitely think, like, if you're going to read something by Allie Hazelwood, it's going to be Bride by Allie Hazelwood or any of her other ones. Like, I did enjoy this, but it's not my favorite by her, like, plot-wise, but I did enjoy the spice for what it was. And so if you want to get spicy and enjoy a fun, cute contemporary romance, get into Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. The last and not least book of our FMC getting absolutely cracked down is a book that I have not shut up about this year. It is my new passion and my new love of life is monster romances. You know what I'm talking about. That is Halfling by S.E. Wendell, okay? Halfling. Now, y'all want to talk about getting cracked down? No one is going to do that better than a monster. Than a 7-foot green dude, okay? No one is going to do that better than 7-foot green dudes, okay? Like, monster romances, like, say what you will, judge all you want if you're not into the monster romances, but if you want to read a book that has got this spice to end all spice, it's going to be a monster romance, okay? It's going to be monster romances. It's going to be 7-foot green dudes, okay? So, this book has also one of the most charming plots of all time as well, which I absolutely lived for. It is charming, it is sweet, it is whimsical, but then there's also high stakes at the same time. So we have a young, half-orc, half-human man named Auric. He lives in a clan that absolutely hates him because he's half-human. He's always been the outcast. He's never been treated very well. And one day, his band of brothers brings in this human woman named Sorsha, and essentially they're going to give her to the clan chief. And essentially he knows what's going to happen to her, and she's essentially going to become like a sex slave to this man. And he's like, I can't let this happen. He unties her, he frees her, and he helps her escape back to her people. And Sorsha is like this like headstrong, beautiful woman. She has a huge family like out in the out far, far away from where she's been, like where she's been taken. And she and Auric have a long journey ahead of them. This I would say is a like forced proximity to lovers kind of deal. So essentially like they're forced to be together, but like they're civil, like they're nice to each other. There's definitely a fear factor there. It's not an enemies to lovers by any means. But then I would say as they continue to travel along this journey together, they become closer, it becomes more romantic. And when the spice starts spicing, we really get to see Auric's prowess, okay?
Open that baby up! Come on, big boy! Show me your willy!
We really get to see how he performs. And the man delivers. The man cannot be stopped. The man is good, and he is so good, and he's so big, and he's so hot, and I'm in love with him, okay? I love this half-orc, okay? I love 7-foot green dudes, and I'm not afraid to say it. I just love this man, and I love this book, and I think it's a really fun, it's like a cozy monster romance. Like, I wouldn't say that this is like the highest stakes, but I would say there's definitely high stakes in here, like, there are moments of that, and this one just is like a comfort novel for me, but it also has the spice to rock all spices, and our FMC gets absolutely cracked down by this half-orc. And they have a very cute romance that I absolutely live for and love. So if you want to dip your toe into monster romance, I think this is a great place to start. Cannot recommend it enough. It's truly the most fun I've ever had. S.E. Wendell, I freaking adore you. You are my fave ever. Mwah. So that is all the romance books where our FMC gets absolutely cracked down for you today. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Live in Literature YouTube channel. Guys, if there are any videos, ideas, or books that you want me to read and or see, please feel free to comment them down below. Again, guys, this video is just my opinion. These are just fun and silly things. Sometimes it's fun to read a smutty book. Sometimes you want to read a more serious book. Right now, I'm kind of in a smutty era, and I'm kind of living for it. So, if there are any books that I forgot to mention or things that you want me to know, please feel free to comment them down below. But once again, I will see you guys next week. I love you guys the most, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!